let's turn our attention back to President Trump's one big beautiful bill, now catching the ire of Elon Musk.
Yeah, so Musk calling it a disgusting abomination, but the White House not flinching. Take a look.
Look, the president already knows where Elon Musk stood on this bill. It doesn't change the president's opinion. This is one big, beautiful bill, and he's sticking to it.
All right, for more, let's welcome in GOP strategist Angie Wong, along with Republican strategist and chairman of the Fort Bend County Republican Party, Bobby Eberle. Great to see you both this morning. Bobby, I will start with you. So you just heard there Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt saying the president knows where Elon Musk stands and the president is not concerned. But what do you make of Musk's comments? I mean, this is pretty harsh to put out there for the world to see. This kind of battle is now playing out.
Well, absolutely. Making this public really just shows it kind of epitomizes his frustration coming into DOGE. I think supporting the president through November, coming along and coming on board with the Republican Party, I think he, as far as people that aren't used to politics, expected big things and big cuts and drastic changes right away. Also yesterday, he posted that for all of those politicians that betrayed the American people, watch out for November primaries. So I think he's going to put his money where his mouth is as far as supporting some challengers to really get these cuts put into place.
Yeah, good point.
I mean, this is a rocky road ahead. This morning, Senate Republicans meeting behind closed doors to lay out the game plan for how they're going to get this thing through. This is where we start to see how much they're going to change, Angie, and I'm just still not sure they can do it by the 4th of July. What do you think?
Well, this is the ask time. You have all the senatorial holdouts. They're all going to want something back for their constituencies. They're looking at re-elections themselves. We're already hearing things like Medicaid and rural hospitals being thrown out there. This is where the deal making happens. And even so, Senator Thune wants a quick deal, and he's going to make those deals. And you know who he's asking to close the deals? The ultimate closer, Donald Trump. So he's on the phone as well today, making these calls to the holdout senators, trying to make it work, because all of this, the great thing about the Senate is that they work all of this behind closed doors, and then they come out as a unified force and make a vote rather than having multiple votes in Congress. So I think that's what we're seeing right now. This is the deal-making time.
And I think one thing all conservatives might be pleased over, the president sending over what's called a rescission bill to Congress, officially requesting to claw back $9.4 billion in funding for things like USAID, NPR, and PBS on the chopping block as well. Do you think this eases any of the concerns from lawmakers who are worried about cutting more spending in that big, beautiful bill, Bobby?
Well, I think it's a start, but I think once DOGE was created, once Musk and his team came in, that the grassroots, the base out there, I represent a county party outside of Houston. They want big things. I believe Musk identified $175 billion in waste, fraud, and abuse, and this first bill identifies $9 billion. So yeah, it's a good start, but I want more, and the people want more. I credit Marjorie Taylor Greene and Ron Johnson on the Senate side and others for really highlighting the spending. Rand Paul, too. We've got to take this opportunity to make these cuts and restructure government for the future.
While Bobby is saying that, and many people believe that, Angie, I'm having a hard time believing, and I read in Politico overnight that there are already some Republicans who object to cutting PBS funding because fear it could impact rural radio and tornado warnings, even though the National and Emergency Broadcast Service is covered in that, not covered in the part of that rescission. I mean, come on. If we can't agree to cut PBS after talking about it, are we ever going to get it done?
I mean, if that's the goal, even rural America has internet, and so there are other ways of getting your news these days. I don't know, PBS. I think it's on the chopping block. I don't know how they can possibly survive this. Same thing with NPR. They're both known as propaganda arms for the Biden administration and the Democratic arm. So I think all of those things did not fix itself. They had their own chance over the last several years to police itself. It didn't. It just doubled down. So now it's got to go. And I think this is the time to do it. No more debating on this. Just cut it.
Have another telethon. Give away another tote bag and get it off the taxpayer dime.
You know, sometimes those tote bags are pretty good.
Well, okay.
I'm just saying. All right, so I want to switch gears now to Newark's mayor. So announcing on X that he has, quote, filed a federal lawsuit against Alina Habba and DHS agent Ricky Patel for false arrest, malicious prosecution, and defamation. They've used their power to violently arrest me at Delaney Hall despite being invited inside. No one is above the law. Nice try. I don't know, Bobby. This is interesting timing considering the primary for New Jersey governor happens to be next week. What do you make of this? Does this go anywhere?
Yeah, I think that this is a tit for tat. There's certainly, New Jersey is completely heating up right now. You have so many races going on. You have a big gubernatorial race. Jack Chiarelli is the front runner and the Trump, endorsed candidate. And then you have this mayor who's just trying to throw rocks at this point, trying to get in there. I don't know. This is a bad look for New Jersey, honestly. Trying to go after the, interim U.S. attorney there. Who's going to win that one? Of course, it's going to be Habba.
Yeah.
I mean, the interesting thing we see here over and over again is that Democrats are defending illegals versus the people
Bottom
with
line.
badge,
That's what it is,
rather than defending the people with the badge against the illegals. All right, and now we've got Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, the House Democrat leader, vowing to dox federal agents, comparing them to the Soviets. Bobby, take a listen.
Every single ICE agent who's engaged in this aggressive overreach and are trying to hide their identities from the American people will be unsuccessful in doing that. This is America. This is not the Soviet Union. We're not behind the Iron Curtain. This is not the 1930s. And every single one of them, no matter what it takes, no matter how long it takes, will, of course, be identified.
Wow.
Wow. I mean,
Unacceptable.
Yeah.
we're just a few weeks away from Police Week. I wish if he'd have made those comments there, imagine the booze. You can't dox cops and make death threats, Bobby. It's just wrong.
No, Mark, you're absolutely right. And this shows how out of touch the Democrats are, whether it's men on women's sports teams, whether it was open borders, whether it's ICE doing their job. The American people, 80, 85%, 90 are on one side, and the Democrats are on the other. We want law and order. We want enforcement. The American people want illegals deported, even those, we're focusing on those with the criminal past and the rape and child trafficking and criminal activity outside of just crossing the border. The American people want just illegal border crossers deported. So the Democrats are on the wrong side of this issue. We need to stand up for law and order and protect ICE and not protest them. Allow them to do their jobs, because that's what the American people voted for.
Yeah, and you look at the numbers and the people that they've already rounded up and taken into custody, many of them convicted of murder in their home countries, rape, child abuse, the list goes on. And now for Hakeem Jeffries to say something as harsh as that, to say we're going to put your address, your phone number out there. These are federal agents. This puts their lives at risk. It's absolutely ridiculous. We'll dive into this a little later. But for now, Angie, Bobby, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, friends, thanks again for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And before you go, please hit that subscribe button above. Once you do, tell your friends, share it, spread the word about the 13-minute news hour so we can keep growing. And for more great content, check out these videos right here, and I'll see you next time.